The battle lasted another 20 minutes. When the last alien ship stopped moving, 47 vessels from Admiral Keth VII's fleet were either destroyed or disabled. Only 3 ships remained functional, including the Admiral's flagship. The wreckage of nearly 70 alien warships floated in space around the undamaged human vessel. Admiral Keth VII stared at his tactical display with empty eyes. His career was over. His fleet was gone. Everything he thought he knew about warfare had been proven wrong by a single human ship. "Sir, the human vessel is approaching," his tactical officer whispered. "They are signaling us." "Put them on screen," Keth VII said quietly. Captain Jake Morrison appeared on the main display. His uniform was still clean, his expression calm. He looked like a man who had just finished a routine training exercise, not someone who had destroyed 2 entire fleets. "Admiral Keth VII," Jake said politely. "I believe we need to talk." "What do you want, human?" Keth VII asked. "I want you to take a message back to your Galactic Council. Tell them that humanity is now part of this galaxy, whether they like it or not. We are not asking for permission. We are informing them of a fact." Keth VII felt anger rising in his chest. "You cannot dictate terms to the Council. We have thousands of ships. We control hundreds of worlds." Jake smiled without warmth. "Admiral, look around you. Do you see those 70 destroyed ships? That was just one human vessel. Earth has 50 ships just like this one, with more being built every day. Do you really want to find out what happens when we bring our entire fleet?" The alien admiral felt a chill run through his body. One human ship had destroyed 2 fleets. 50 such ships could conquer the entire galaxy. "What are your terms?" Keth VII asked quietly. "Simple," Jake replied. "Humanity will be treated as an equal member of galactic civilization, not as servants, not as junior partners, but as equals. Any species that threatens human colonies or ships will face immediate retaliation. Any attempt to force humans to serve others will be met with military action. The Council will never agree to such terms from a new species." Jake's expression grew harder. "Then the Council will learn the same lesson you just learned. We are not interested in following your rules or traditions. We make our own rules." On his bridge, Jake turned to Linda Hayes. "Are you still recording?" "Yes, sir," Linda replied. "Full audio and visual record of everything." "Good. Send copies to every alien ship that can receive them. I want the entire galaxy to see what happened here today." Jake opened a general broadcast channel that would reach every ship and station within 50 light years. His image appeared on thousands of screens throughout alien space. "To all species in this region of the galaxy," Jake began, "I am Captain Jake Morrison, representing humanity and the planet Earth. Today, the Galactic Council attempted to force humanity into servitude. We refused. The result of that refusal is floating around my ship in pieces." The camera panned to show the wreckage of the alien fleets, 70 warships reduced to scrap metal and debris. "Humanity is now part of galactic civilization," Jake continued. "We come in peace, but we are prepared for war. We seek trade and cooperation, but we will not tolerate threats or demands for submission. Any species that approaches us with respect will find us reasonable partners. Any species that approaches us with threats will share the fate of these fleets." Jake paused, letting his words sink in across the galaxy. "Earth is under human protection. Our colonies are under human protection. Our ships travel where they choose, when they choose. This is not a request or a negotiation. This is simply how things are now." The transmission ended, leaving thousands of alien commanders staring at their screens in shock. In the space of one day, everything in the galaxy had changed. Admiral Keth VII found his voice again. "Captain Morrison, if I deliver your message, the Council will mobilize every ship they have. You will face thousands of vessels." "Admiral," Jake replied calmly, "let me tell you something about humans that your people do not understand. We spent thousands of years fighting each other on our home world. We perfected the art of warfare before we ever left our planet. Every weapon on this ship was designed to fight enemies just as smart and just as determined as we are. Jake gestured toward the wreckage around them. Your people developed their military technology to fight species that surrender when faced. With superior numbers. You fight wars to capture territory and resources. Humans fight wars to win them completely and permanently. What does that mean? Keth 7 asked. It means that if your council sends 1,000 ships to attack Earth, they will find out what human nuclear weapons can do to entire worlds. It means that if you threaten our families, we will not just defeat your fleets. We will follow them home and destroy the planets they came from. The alien admiral felt his blood turn cold. The human was not making threats. He was stating facts about what would happen if the galaxy chose to continue this conflict. I will deliver your message, Keth 7 said quietly. I hope you do, Jake replied, because the alternative is something nobody wants to see. The communication ended. Admiral Keth 7 ordered his remaining ships to retreat toward Council space. He had a message to deliver that would change the galaxy forever. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Jake Morrison watched the alien ships disappear into hyperspace. His crew worked quietly at their stations, running post-battle diagnostics and damage reports. Any damage to our ship? Jake asked. None, sir, Alex Turner reported. All systems functioning normally, hull integrity at 100%. Casualties? 0, sir. Jake nodded with satisfaction. Humanity's first contact with galactic civilization had gone exactly as planned. Not the plan the politicians had made, but the plan the military had prepared for. Linda, send a full report back to Earth, Jake ordered. Tell them that humanity now has a place in the galaxy. Tell them we took it ourselves. Yes, sir. Jake looked out at the stars, knowing that human ships would soon be traveling to all of them. The galaxy was about to learn what it meant to share space with a species that refused to bow to anyone. Set course for the next alien system, Jake ordered. We have more introductions to make. The UCS Vengeance turned toward the stars, carrying humanity's message to the galaxy. They had come armed, and they had made their point clear. Admiral Keth 7 arrived with 50 fresh warships expecting to find Commander Zix 9 mopping up the remains of a primitive human vessel. Instead, his sensors showed the wreckage of nearly 30 Altarian ships floating in space. Only 7 damaged. Vessels remained from the original fleet. This cannot be accurate, Admiral Keth 7 said to his sensor operator. Run a full diagnostic on all systems. Sir, the readings are correct, the operator replied nervously. 23 Altarian ships have been destroyed. The human vessel appears undamaged. Admiral Keth 7 stared at the tactical display in disbelief. He had fought in 12 major battles during his career. He had seen entire star systems conquered, but he had never seen anything like this. A single enemy ship had destroyed an entire fleet. Where is the human vessel now? He asked. 2,000 kilometers ahead, sir. They appear to be waiting for us. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Jake Morrison studied the approaching alien reinforcements through his main viewer. 50 ships in perfect formation, each one larger than his own vessel. Any normal captain would be terrified. Jake felt something else entirely. He felt ready. Alex, what can you tell me about their new ships? Jake asked. Alex Turner ran his sensors over the approaching fleet. Same basic design as the first group, but these ships are newer. Better armor, stronger shields. I think this is their main battle fleet. Kelly, status on our weapons? Kelly Barnes checked her displays carefully. Plasma cannons at full charge. We have used about 30% of our kinetic missiles. Nuclear warheads remain unused. Jake nodded. The Vengeance still had plenty of fight left. Ryan, are you ready for a real battle? Ryan Cooper cracked his knuckles and grinned. Captain, I have been waiting my whole life for something like this. These aliens are about to learn why Earth builds warships. Jake opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. Attention, alien vessels. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the UCS Vengeance. You have 30 seconds to withdraw from this area. Admiral Keith 7 responded immediately. Human Captain, I am Admiral Keth 7 of the Galactic Council's 2nd Battle Fleet. You will surrender your vessel immediately. You have attacked Council ships without provocation. Wrong, Jake replied calmly. Your people threatened us first. They demanded we surrender and serve them as slaves. That was their mistake. You destroyed an entire fleet. That is an act of war against the Galactic Council. Jake smiled coldly. Admiral, you are looking at this backwards. We did not start a war. We finished one. The question now is whether you want to start another war, or if you want to be smart and leave. Admiral Keth 7 cut the transmission and turned to his fleet commanders. All ships, prepare for battle. Surround the human vessel. We will show them what happens when they challenge Council authority. The 50 alien ships moved into an attack formation that completely surrounded the Vengeance. From every direction, weapons powered up and targeted the lone human ship. Admiral Keth 7 was confident that this time, overwhelming numbers would win. Sir, we are completely surrounded, Alex reported. Enemy ships at all compass points. No escape route available. Who said anything about escaping? Jake asked. Kelly, when I give the order, target their command ship. Ryan, prepare to fire everything we have. Captain, they are powering weapons, Kelly announced. All 50 ships are preparing to fire. Jake looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew. These men and women had volunteered to travel farther from Earth than any human had ever gone. They had faced impossible odds and won. Now they faced even worse odds, and none of them looked afraid. Fire, Jake ordered. The Vengeance erupted with weapons fire in all directions. Plasma cannons swiveled on their mounts, targeting multiple enemy ships simultaneously. Kinetic missiles streaked through space toward the largest alien vessels. The human ship became the center of a sphere of destruction. Admiral Keth 7 watched, in horror as his carefully planned attack formation was torn apart in seconds. Human weapons struck from every direction at once. Ships that had survived dozens of battles exploded like toys under the devastating firepower. How are they targeting? So many ships at once, he demanded. Sir, their weapon systems are far more advanced than ours, his tactical officer replied. They can track and engage multiple targets independently. The Vengeance spun slowly as it fired, bringing all weapons to bear on different targets. Human engineering had created weapon systems that could think for themselves, automatically tracking and destroying threats without human guidance. While alien ships needed separate crews to operate each weapon, human technology allowed one person to control dozens of systems at once. Return fire, Admiral Keth 7 ordered. All ships, concentrate on the human vessel. 50 alien ships opened fire at the same time. The space around the Vengeance lit up with purple energy beams and particle weapons. The combined firepower of an entire fleet struck the human ship from every direction. The energy beams hit the Vengeance and bounced off harmlessly. The kinetic barriers absorbed every impact without even flickering. The alien weapons, designed to fight other aliens, were completely useless against human defensive technology. Sir, our weapons are having no effect, Admiral Keth 7's tactical officer reported. Their shields are deflecting everything we fire at them. Then increase power. Fire everything we have. The alien fleet poured more energy into their attack. Weapons that could destroy mountains struck the human ship continuously. The result was the same. Every shot bounced off the Vengeance like raindrops off a mountain. Meanwhile, human weapons continued to find their targets. 3 more alien ships exploded under plasma cannon fire. 2 heavy cruisers broke apart when kinetic missiles tore through their hulls. The alien formation began to collapse as ships tried to escape the slaughter. Sir, we have lost 15 ships in 2 minutes, the tactical officer reported. We cannot penetrate their defenses. Admiral Keth 7 realized he was facing the same situation as Commander Zix 9. His weapons could not hurt the humans, but human weapons were destroying his fleet with ease. This was not a battle. This was an execution. All ships, retreat to maximum range, he ordered. Do not let them get close. But it was too late. The Vengeance was already moving, chasing down the fleeing alien ships. Captain Jake Morrison was not going to let them escape to warn others. He was going to finish this fight completely. Kelly, do not let any of them get away, Jake ordered. The galaxy needs to know what happens when someone threatens humanity. The hunt continued, and more alien ships died. The Altarian flagship shook violently as another human plasma blast struck its hull. Commander Zix-9 gripped his command chair as sparks flew from damaged control panels around him. Half of his fleet was already destroyed or disabled, and the human ship showed no signs of slowing down. "Damage report," Zix-9 shouted over the sound of alarms. "Forward shields at 15%, his tactical officer replied. "Hull breaches on decks 7 through 12. We have lost main power to weapons array 2. Zix-9 could not understand what was happening. The humans were supposed to be a new species, primitive and weak. Their single ship was destroying a fleet that had conquered dozens of worlds. This was impossible. "Sir, the human vessel is targeting us directly," the tactical officer announced. "They are preparing to fire again." On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Jake Morrison watched the alien flagship try to maneuver away from his ship. The enemy vessel was large and impressive, but it moved like a floating city rather than a warship. It was built for intimidation, not combat. Kelly hit them again. "Aim for their weapon systems," Jake ordered. Kelly Barnes adjusted her targeting controls with precise movements. "Plasma cannons locked on target. Firing now." The blue-white energy beams lanced through space and struck the alien flagship. The ship's remaining shields collapsed completely, and the plasma burned deep into its hull. Secondary explosions rippled along the ship's side as weapon systems overloaded and died. "Direct hit, Captain," Kelly reported. "Their main weapons are offline." Jake nodded with satisfaction. The aliens were learning an important lesson about human warfare. Humans did not fight to capture or disable. They fought to win, completely and permanently. "Ryan, what is the status on our missiles?" Jake asked. Ryan Cooper checked his displays with a pleased expression. "All tubes loaded and ready, sir. We still have our full complement of kinetic warheads and nuclear packages." Jake had not needed to use the nuclear weapons yet. The plasma cannons were proving more than adequate against alien technology. But he wanted the aliens to know that humanity had even more destructive capabilities waiting. "Fire one kinetic missile at the flagship. Let them see what else we can do." Ryan's hands moved over his controls. Missile away. The kinetic warhead streaked through space faster than any alien weapon. It struck the enemy flagship with the force of a small asteroid. The impact drove deep into the ship's hull and exploded inside, tearing apart internal structures and killing hundreds of aliens instantly. Commander Zix-9 was thrown from his chair as his ship lurched from the impact. When he struggled back to his feet, half of his bridge crew was dead or unconscious. Emergency lights flickered red, and the smell of burning electronics filled the air. "Sir, we have massive internal damage," his surviving tactical officer reported. "That missile punched through our hull like it was empty space." "How is this possible?" Zix-9 demanded. "No species developed such weapons for first contact." "Perhaps they did not develop them for first contact," his science officer suggested weakly. "Perhaps they developed them to fight each other." The idea struck Zix-9 like a physical blow. Most species developed space travel after achieving peace on their home worlds. They explored space to find resources and knowledge, not to make war. But what if humans were different? What if they had brought their wars with them to the stars? "Open a channel to all remaining ships," Zix-9 ordered. "Full retreat. Get out of range of their weapons." "Sir, they are pursuing us," the tactical officer replied. "The human ship is faster than our heavy cruisers." On the Vengeance, Alex Turner monitored the alien fleet's attempted retreat. "Captain, enemy ships are trying to withdraw. Our engines are maintaining pursuit speed. Good, Jake replied. Do not let them regroup. Kelly, continue targeting their largest ships. Jake understood military strategy better than the aliens realized. If he allowed them to escape and regroup, they would return with more ships and better tactics. The first battle would determine how the galaxy saw humanity. He intended to make sure that impression was one of overwhelming strength. Captain, I am reading energy signatures from more alien ships approaching, Alex announced. Long-range sensors show at least 50 additional vessels moving toward our position. Jake felt a moment of concern. 50 more ships would be a serious challenge, even for the Vengeance, but he could not show weakness now. How long until they arrive? 30 minutes at their current speed. Then we have 30 minutes to finish this fight and send a message to whoever is coming. Ryan Cooper looked up from his weapons console. Captain, if we are going to make a statement, now might be the time to use our special packages. Jake considered the suggestion. The nuclear warheads were humanity's most powerful weapons. Using them would certainly get the galaxy's attention. But it would also announce that humans possessed planet-killing technology. Not yet, Jake decided. Save the nuclear weapons for when we really need them. For now, conventional weapons are working fine. The battle continued as the Vengeance pursued the retreating alien ships. Human plasma cannons continued to find. Their targets and kinetic missiles destroyed anything they hit. The aliens had no answer for human technology. Commander Zix-9 watched helplessly as more of his ships were destroyed. The human vessel moved through his fleet like death itself, unstoppable and merciless. Every weapon his ships fired bounced harmlessly off the human shields. Every shot the humans fired killed one of his vessels. Sir, we have lost 23 ships, his tactical officer reported. Only 7 vessels remain functional. And the human ship? No damage detected. Their shields have not even been scratched. Zix-9 realized that he was witnessing something that had never happened before in galactic history. A single ship from a primitive species was destroying an entire Council fleet. When word of this battle reached the Galactic Council, everything would change. Sir, incoming message from the approaching reinforcements, the communications officer announced. Put it through. A new alien voice filled the bridge. Commander Zix-9, this is Admiral Keth-7 of the 2nd Battle Fleet. We are coming to assist you. Admiral, do not engage the human ship, Zix-9 replied quickly. Their technology is beyond anything we have encountered. They are destroying our fleet with ease. Impossible. No single ship can defeat a Council fleet. See for yourself when you arrive. But Admiral, consider this carefully. If they can destroy 60 ships, what will they do to your 50? The transmission ended, leaving Zix-9 alone with his fears. The humans had changed everything with their arrival. The galaxy's rules no longer applied. On the Vengeance, Jake Morrison prepared for the next phase of the battle, knowing that humanity's future depended on the next 30 minutes. The 30 alien ships moved into attack formation like a pack of wolves circling their prey. Commander Zix-9 felt confident as he watched his fleet surround the single human vessel. In his 200 years of service, he had dealt with dozens of new species. They all followed the same pattern, a show of superior force, and they would surrender. All ships report ready, his tactical officer announced. Weapons charged and targeting the human vessel. Zix-9 nodded. This will be over, quickly. Their primitive technology cannot match our advanced weapons. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Jake Morrison watched the alien ships move into position. Each enemy vessel was twice the size of his ship. Their hulls gleamed with energy shields that sparkled like starlight. Any sane person would be terrified. Jake was not any sane person. He was a human. Captain, they are powering weapons, Kelly Barnes reported from her station. Her voice was steady, showing no fear. All 30 ships have target locks on us. Time, To intercept? Jake asked. 2 minutes until they reach optimal firing range, Alex Turner replied from his console. Their weapons appear to be standard plasma disruptors. They will try to disable our engines first, then demand surrender. Jake smiled grimly. They expect us to follow their rules. Time to show them that humans play a different game. Ryan Cooper ran his hands over the weapons controls like a musician preparing to play a symphony. Captain, all systems show green. Plasma cannons are charged to maximum power. Kinetic missiles are loaded and ready. What about our special packages? Jake asked. Ryan's grin grew wider. The nuclear warheads are armed and waiting, sir. Earth's finest gifts to the galaxy. Jake had argued with the politicians about bringing nuclear weapons into space. They said it was too aggressive, too dangerous. The military leaders had convinced them that humanity needed every advantage possible. Looking at the 30 enemy ships, Jake was glad the military had won that argument. Linda, are you recording everything? Jake asked. Yes, sir, Linda Hayes replied. Full visual and audio record. Earth will see exactly what happened here. Jake nodded. Whatever happened, in the next few minutes would be remembered forever, either as humanity's first victory among the stars or as their final defeat. Commander Zix-9 opened a communication channel. Human Captain, this is your final chance. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick. Jake stepped forward, his image appearing on every alien ship's screen. Commander, I have a counteroffer. Leave our space immediately, and we might let some of you live. The sound that came from Zix-9 was definitely laughter this time. You are outnumbered 30-1. Your single ship cannot possibly defeat our fleet. You are right about one thing, Jake replied. This will not be a defeat. It will be a massacre. The question is, who will be doing the killing? Zix-9 cut the transmission and turned to his weapons officer. Fire all weapons. Disable their engines. 30 alien ships opened fire at once. Beams of purple energy raced through space toward the human vessel. The aliens expected to see the human ship's shields collapse and their engines explode. Instead, something impossible happened. The energy beams hit the Vengeance and simply bounced off. The human ship's shields did not even flicker. It was like throwing stones at a mountain. What happened? Zix-9 demanded. Why did our weapons not work? Sir, they are using a different type of shield technology, his science officer reported, panic creeping into his voice. Their shields are not energy-based. They appear to be kinetic barriers that deflect physical force. That is impossible. Energy shields are the only practical defensive system. Not for humans, apparently. On the Vengeance, Alex Turner monitored the shield systems with satisfaction. Direct hits from all 30 ships, Captain. No damage to our kinetic barriers. Their energy weapons cannot penetrate our defenses. Jake nodded. Earth's scientists had developed kinetic barrier technology after studying alien energy weapons. While other species had perfected energy shields to defend against energy weapons, humans had created something entirely different. Their shields stopped physical force, making energy weapons useless. Kelly, return fire. Show them what human weapons can do. Kelly's fingers danced across her controls. Plasma cannons firing. The Vengeance's main guns erupted with blue-white fire. Unlike the purple beams of the aliens, human plasma weapons were designed to burn through anything in their path. The concentrated energy struck the nearest alien ship. The enemy vessel's shields flared bright orange, then collapsed completely. The plasma continued through the hull like a hot knife through butter. Atmosphere vented from dozens of holes as the alien ship spun out of control. Impossible, Zix-9 whispered as he watched one of his ships die. Their weapons cut through our shields like they were not there. Sir, their plasma operates at temperatures we have never seen, his science officer reported. Our shields are designed to deflect standard energy weapons. These human weapons are far beyond our defensive capabilities. How is this possible? They are a primitive species making first contact. Perhaps we were wrong about them being primitive. Jake watched the first alien ship drift powerless through space. 1 down, 29 to go. Kelly, target the largest. Ship, Ryan, prepare the missiles. Targeting the alien flagship, Kelly announced. Plasma cannons charging for second volley. Ryan Cooper's hands moved over the missile controls. Kinetic warheads armed and ready, nuclear packages standing by. The second salvo from the Vengeance struck 2 more alien ships. The blue plasma tore through their hulls like they were made of paper. One ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The other broke in half, its crew screaming across all communication frequencies. Commander Zix-9 watched his fleet being destroyed by a single enemy ship. This was not how first contact was supposed to happen. New species were weak, frightened, and grateful for Council protection. They did not arrive with weapons that could destroy entire fleets. All ships, retreat to long range and regroup, he ordered. Sir, the human ship is pursuing us, his tactical officer reported. They are not letting us withdraw. On the Vengeance, Jake watched the alien fleet try to escape. Alex, increase speed. Stay close to them. Engines at full power, Captain. We are faster than their largest ships. Kelly, continue firing. Do not let them regroup. The human ship moved through the enemy formation like a predator among sheep. Every shot found its target. Every target died. The aliens had never faced an enemy that fought to win instead of fighting to capture. Captain, incoming transmission. From the alien commander, Linda announced. Put him on screen. Zix-9's face appeared, his 3 eyes wide with fear. Human captain, please. We surrender. Stop the attack. No, Jake replied simply. You had your chance to leave. You chose to fight. Now you learn what happens when you threaten humanity. The battle continued, and the alien fleet continued to die. In the space of 10 minutes, humanity had announced its arrival to the galaxy in the most dramatic way possible. They had come armed, and they were not interested in diplomatic niceties. The warning lights on the monitoring station flashed red as the unknown ship appeared on the sensors. Commander Zix-9 of the Altarian Defense Fleet watched the screens with growing worry. His 3 eyes focused on the strange readings coming. From the approaching vessel. Sir, we have a problem, said his tactical officer, pointing at the display. That ship is not like anything we have seen before. Zix-9 moved closer to the main screen. The ship was big, about 800 meters long, and covered in thick metal armor. It looked nothing like the peaceful exploration ships that usually came from new worlds. This vessel was built for war. Where did it come from? Zix-9 asked. From the 3rd planet in the Sol system. The species calls themselves humans. This is their first time leaving their home area of space. Zix-9 felt a chill run through his body. New species were usually excited to meet the Galactic Council. They sent small ships with scientists and diplomats. They came asking for help and guidance. This human ship was different. It was alone, heavily armed, and moving fast toward their space. Are they sending any messages? Zix-9 asked. No diplomatic signals, sir. They are not asking for permission to enter Council space. They are just coming. Meanwhile, on the bridge of the human ship UCS Vengeance, Captain Jake Morrison stood looking at the alien fleet ahead. His brown hair was starting to turn gray at the sides, and his blue eyes showed years of military training. He had fought in 3 wars on Earth before being chosen to lead this mission. Captain, I count 15 alien ships in formation, said Lieutenant Kelly Barnes from her station. She was young, maybe 25, with red hair tied back in a ponytail. Her fingers moved quickly over the weapon controls. Jake nodded slowly. Earth had sent him here with one job: make contact with alien life and establish humanity's place in the galaxy. The politicians back home wanted peace and trade. The military. Leaders wanted something else. They wanted respect. Any word from them yet? Jake asked. Nothing on any channel, sir, replied Communications Officer Linda Hayes. She was older than Kelly, maybe 30, with short black hair and serious dark eyes. They are just watching us. Jake had read all the reports about other species and how they handled first contact. Most new civilizations were welcomed into something called the Galactic Council. They were given technology and protection. In return, they followed council rules and gave up their independence. Jake did not like that idea at all. "Sir, we are getting multiple targeting locks," Kelly said, her voice tense. "More ships are coming. I count 20 now. 25, 30 alien vessels." Jake felt his jaw tighten. The aliens were trying to intimidate them. Back on Earth, this would be called a show of force. The message was clear. "Submit or be destroyed." "Red alert," Jake said calmly. "All hands to battle stations." The ship's lights changed to red as alarms, sounded throughout the Vengeance. Men and women ran to their positions. These were not scientists or diplomats. They were soldiers. Each one had volunteered for this mission knowing they might never see Earth again. "Weapon systems online," reported Chief Weapons Officer Ryan Cooper. He was a big man with thick arms and a scar across his left cheek from the Mars conflict. "All plasma cannons charged. Missile tubes loaded. Shields at maximum," added Lieutenant Commander Alex Turner from the defense station. Alex was quiet and smart, the kind of person who could fix anything or figure out any problem. Jake looked at his crew. These people trusted him to make the right choice. Earth trusted him to represent humanity. The weight of an entire species rested on his shoulders. "Captain, incoming transmission from the alien fleet," Linda announced. "Put it on screen." The main display showed an alien face unlike anything humans had ever seen. Commander Zix-9 had gray skin, 3 eyes, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. When he spoke, his voice sounded like metal scraping against stone. "Unknown. Vessel, you have entered Council space without permission. You will shut down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Your species will be evaluated for membership in the Galactic Council." Jake stepped forward. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the United Colonial Ship Vengeance. We come from Earth, representing humanity. We are here to establish diplomatic relations." Zix-9 made a sound that might have been laughter. "Diplomatic relations? You arrive in a warship alone without following proper procedures. Your species shows promise for military service. Surrender your vessel, and we will consider allowing humans to serve as soldiers in our fleets." The bridge of the Vengeance went quiet. Every human present understood what had just happened. The aliens were not offering partnership. They were offering slavery. Jake's voice stayed calm, but his eyes turned cold. "Let me make sure I understand. You want humanity to give up our independence and serve you as soldiers? Your species appears to have some military capability. Under Council guidance, you could be useful. The alternative is destruction of your vessel and a ban on your species from space travel." Jake looked around his bridge. Kelly's hand hovered over the weapons console. Ryan was running final checks on the targeting systems. Alex was monitoring the alien ships, looking for weaknesses. Linda was recording everything to send back to Earth. "I need a moment to consider your offer," Jake said. "You have 5 minutes," Zix-9 replied, and the transmission ended. Jake turned to his crew. "Options?" "We are outnumbered 30-1, Kelly said. "But our weapons are different from theirs. Earth designed them to fight other humans. These aliens might not be ready for our technology. Their ships are bigger, but they look old," Alex added. "I think they have been using the same designs for a long time. No innovation." Ryan grinned, showing his teeth. "Captain, we came here to represent humanity. I say we show them what humans are really like." Jake thought about Earth. Blue skies, green forests, oceans full of life. Billions of people who deserve to be free. Children who should grow up without alien masters telling them what to do. "Linda, open a channel to the alien fleet." "Channel open, sir." Jake's voice carried across space to 30 alien warships. Commander Zix-9, humanity has considered your offer. Here is our response. We decline. Then you choose destruction, Zix-9 replied. No, Jake said, his voice growing harder. We choose to fight. But first, let me give you some free advice about humans. We do not surrender. We do not serve. And we do not ask permission. The alien fleet began to move into attack formation. Jake watched them come, knowing that the next few minutes would decide humanity's future among the stars. All stations report. Ready, Captain, Kelly announced. Jake nodded. Then let's show the galaxy what humans can do.